Good morning. It's bright and early in the morning on day 4 of Let's Make a Sourdough Starter. So I am very excited. This is where the magic happens. This is the day when you start to notice, hey, it's actually working. And you can see the magic of the microorganisms beginning to flourish. And you know that the yeast is now starting to have an environment where it's going to be very, very active. So we're starting to get a nice wild yeast culture. So it's very exciting. I don't feel like it's quite time yet to be able to use the discard for baking, especially not for the regular sourdough starter. For the gluten-free one, we may be able to. We're just going to have a look. So let's go check it out. So as you can see, I have my little nest that I created that's keeping my starters nice and warm. Now let's have a look at our regular gluten-free starter. And this is quite exciting because we didn't have a lot of activity yesterday. And look at it now. It's quite bubbly. It's becoming quite active. We know the microbiology tells us that there's now going to be an environment where the good bacteria that we want are starting to multiply much quicker. We've been feeding it with a little bit of acidic environment, all 3 of them. So we know we're encouraging the microorganisms that we want to be in there. So the yeast is beginning to flourish. So that is quite exciting. I still would not use this though today, maybe not even tomorrow, the discard. So we're not going to feed it yet. We're going to again leave it and try to get it at its peak activity. So we're just going to give all 3 a stir, cover them up, and put them in a nice warm place, and we'll have a look again later today. One thing I forgot to mention is to remind you to smell your starter and see what it smells like. So let's check it out. And smell Bob and see how he smells. So it's actually starting to smell quite lovely. And I find when you add the pineapple juice, it just actually smells good the whole time. It doesn't get that rotten smell because you are helping to encourage the growth of the microorganisms that you want and to discourage the bad bacteria. And those are the ones that give it that really nasty smell that often causes people to throw out their starter. So that's great. I just wanted to give you a quick peek so you can see what each of them look like after being mixed. Here's our sourdough sorghum starter, and you can see its consistency. Here's our brown rice. Much, much, much thinner consistency when it gets mixed. And here is our regular sourdough starter, and you can see the gluten in it. It's very, very different, but it does have thicker consistency like the sorghum starter. That's it. That's all. Just scrape down the edges to clean your jar, cover your starter back up, double check the height of your elastic, and place it in your snuggly place. And of course, as always, I'd love to know how's your starter looking on day 4. Please share a picture with us in the comments, and we'll check our starters again this evening. Have a wonderful day, everybody.